One of the most consumed forms of entertainment, both on the internet and on television, has always been pranks. Apparently, human beings have an unconditional pleasure in seeing other people feeling embarrassed or ashamed. Many pranks have already gone viral out there, and some are so ingenious that they end up being completely crazy. And these are the pranks you are going to watch today. The YouTuber Gerson Albuquerque, known for his humorous content and pranks, surprised internet users with an unusual prank, in which he used a jet ski to expose some opportunistic individuals. In the video, Gerson appears at a beach in Brazil, approaches a table where a woman is sitting, and tries to get her number or arrange a date. However, the woman immediately refuses, claiming she is in a relationship and not giving him any chance. Gerson then walks away. About 40 minutes later, he returns to the spot, this time wearing a new outfit, and walks toward his motorboat, which was right by the beach. The same woman who had turned him down watches the scene and suddenly approaches him, asking to take a ride on the boat. At that moment, Gerson reminds her that he had tried to approach her earlier and that she had refused, claiming she was dating someone.
Você falou que tinha namorado, não tem WhatsApp.
Surprised, the woman tries to justify herself, saying she had not recognized him before and that her relationship was recent and not serious. This makes it clear that she made up the excuse to dismiss Gerson initially, but upon seeing the boat, she tried to reconnect opportunistically. Gerson, as part of the prank, refuses her, stating that he does not like opportunistic women.
Segurei. Quer dizer, pensando bem, eu não curto mulheres interesseiras.
Even after being refused and humiliated, the woman insists, asking Gerson at least to note down her WhatsApp. He recalls that in his first attempt, she had said she did not have the app. She then makes up an excuse, claiming that she had recently installed it and did not remember. Gerson ironically replies that he had uninstalled his own the previous day, leaving her speechless. Then he gets on the jet ski and leaves. A man with a fit body, handsome and considered a heartthrob, decided to carry out an unusual prank to surprise people on the street and capture their reactions, which, as expected, were very amusing. To carry out the prank, he put on a very small pair of panties and got on an escalator. At a certain moment, he would bend down as if picking something up, leaving the panties completely visible to the people right behind him. Upon noticing that imposing man wearing tiny panties, the reactions of surprise and laughter were instantaneous. People were shocked to see the scene and quickly burst into laughter. Taking advantage of the situation, the man still made a point of showing off his panties one more time to ensure everyone could see.
Time. Oh, God. Oh.
Both women and men at first were astonished to see that man in a thong, but right after the initial shock, laughter took over. Many even made jokes about the situation, and in one curious moment, a woman actually pulled on the panties with her hands, apparently to check if they were real. This time, to set up a prank, a man went to a beach in Brazil with a sort of giant pair of scissors and also hired an actress as his accomplice. In the video, the woman positioned herself near the prank's victim, and then the man approached with the giant scissors. He began talking to the victim, asking a favor for them to hold the scissors while he took care of something. At that moment, he approached the actress, who was standing with her back turned and wearing a bikini, and with a regular pair of scissors cut the top part of her bikini, then ran away immediately. When the actress turned around to see what had happened, she saw the victim holding the huge scissors, implying that the victim was responsible for the accident. The reactions of fright and the desperate attempts to explain themselves made the prank very funny.
Thank you so much. You're pretty heavy.
Oh my God. What? Are you kidding me? Are you trying to see my boob?
Since the actress was hired, she simulated her indignation very well, blaming the victim for the situation. Desperate, the person tried to explain that it was another man who had done it, but the problem was that the real culprit had already fled, and the giant scissors were in their hands, making the explanation even more complicated. Another YouTuber known for his prank content is Steven Shapiro, owner of a channel by the same name. In a specific prank that caught considerable attention online, he appears without shorts, provoking a variety of reactions from people. At a beach in Brazil, he approaches people, starts talking, and suddenly just removes his shorts, ending up half naked in front of them, which of course leaves them completely speechless, not knowing what to do. As if the boldness of going half naked weren't enough, in some approaches, he would already arrive without shorts and ask to borrow someone's shorts to go away. In one of the most bizarre cases, a man who was there with his girlfriend agrees, takes off his own shorts, remains in only his underwear, and hands them over to Steven, leaving his girlfriend furious.
Are yours real quick? I need to go inside and find one.
No,
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be right back.
Steven's approaches are always different. In some situations, he removes his shorts out of nowhere, and in others, he already appears without them, claiming he forgot his shorts in a strip club, leaving people shocked by the weirdness of the situation. We know that the pranks by Silvio Santos, a famous TV host in Brazil, have always been and continue to be a landmark on Brazilian television. In one of them, an actor dressed as a prophet scared people with his prophecies. To carry out this prank, the production used a small explosive device, discreetly installed beneath a bench in a square, which could be triggered remotely. The stage was set. Innocent people would sit on the bench, and the prophet would suddenly appear, starting to make apocalyptic predictions, saying that everyone would be taken to the depths of hell. At first, the victims thought it was just another crazy person, but the moment of tension began when the actor struck his staff on the ground. At that instant, the production activated the small explosive device, which went off with a loud noise and plenty of smoke right under the bench, giving the people a huge scare.
Para as profundezas do inferno agora!
With the explosion, the victims jumped off the bench completely terrified. Some ran away desperately, while others even went after the prophet, believing he was really doing something dangerous. This prank was one of the many that marked the show's irreverent and iconic style. In another classic Silvio Santos prank, the production used a mysterious mirror to generate a hilarious reaction of astonishment. A person would enter a bathroom where, instead of a normal mirror, there was a well-crafted trick that prevented them from seeing their own reflection. To achieve this, the production removed the mirror and placed two twin actresses, one on each side, mirroring each other's movements. Thus, when the person entered and stood in front of the mirror, they could not see their reflection, generating an immediate reaction of confusion and amazement. The victim would remain there, trying to understand what was happening, and to increase the desperation, the twins would switch positions, making it clear that no matter which side the person stood on, they would not be able to see themselves. But the most amusing moment came when two other twin actresses entered the bathroom, also repeating the movements as if the mirror were working normally. This led the victims to question not only the mirror, but even their own reality at that moment. The reactions of perplexity and the despair in trying to understand the situation made this prank one of the most memorable and funniest of the show. The João Kleber Show, a TV program in Brazil, became known for its well-thought-out pranks, and one of them was quite successful by having a beautiful woman pretend to fall asleep on the subway and rest her head on the shoulders of strangers. The woman, by pretending to fall asleep, would let her head rest on the victim's friendly shoulder, provoking varied reactions. Some people were visibly uncomfortable, not knowing what to do. While some got up immediately to escape the situation, others accepted the moment more calmly. One elderly man, for instance, even said she could continue using his shoulder without any problem, which caused laughter.
Oi, desculpa.
Não, tudo bem. Pode usar o ombro amigo aí, eu vou soltar já, tá?
Obrigada.
On the other hand, one woman, upon finding herself in that situation, promptly stood up, leaving the sleepyhead alone on the seat.
Não, pode ficar. Não, pode ficar, eu vou levantar. Não.
The prank stood out precisely because it provoked different reactions. From discomfort to kindness, everyone who fell for the trick demonstrated the difficulty of dealing with such an unusual situation in a public space, which made everything very funny. Once again, Gerson Albuquerque surprised his audience with an elaborate and hilarious prank on his YouTube channel. This time, with the help of an acquaintance, he staged a big setup that involved the arrival of a helicopter in the backyard of a house in Brazil, creating a scenario that looked like a police operation. The prank was meticulously organized. Only Gerson's accomplice knew everything, and the house was equipped with several hidden cameras to capture the family's authentic reactions. At the agreed time, the helicopter began to approach, making a loud noise that caught everyone's attention. When it landed in the backyard, the mother, father, and sister went out to see what was happening, completely terrified. The tension only grew when Gerson and his friends, dressed as police officers with their faces covered, ran out of the helicopter and started shouting, ordering everyone to raise their hands and stay silent.
Cabeça, mão na cabeça. Bora!
Mão na cabeça? Eu não fiz nada, rapaz, eu sou a Sônia. Você tá pensando que ele tá invadindo a minha propriedade.
The mother, showing a lot of courage, even confronted the supposed police officers, demanding that they leave her house, while the father and sister were completely frightened. After minutes of pure stress and tension, Gerson finally revealed that it was all just a prank, relieving the family who, among laughter and shock, managed to relax after a situation that seemed extremely real. The YouTube channel called The Daily Dropout, famous for its pranks, carried out a hilarious one at a beach in Brazil that involved sitting next to strangers. Basically, the prank involved a member of the channel approaching random people and sitting or lying down beside them, as if they were old acquaintances. This approach creates a certain discomfort in people, which makes the prank extremely funny. People's reactions vary greatly. In one of the moments, he lies down next to two friends who were relaxing on the sand getting a tan. One of the friends, uncomfortable, starts looking at him, thinking he was a bit crazy for doing that. He stays there, and the girls become increasingly embarrassed, wondering what he was doing, until he reveals that it was all just a prank. Some years ago, the Pânico show in Brazil was very successful, especially with its pranks involving the Panicats, very beautiful girls who took part in the show. In one of the pranks, they summoned all the Panicats to a weapons training center, where they would have the opportunity to shoot at targets. The instructor constantly emphasized that they should be careful, as any mistake could cost one of them their life. At a certain moment, he warns that a shot could ricochet if they did not shoot correctly, and it is at that instant that the prank begins. Aline Minerato, one of the participants, pretends to be hit when a supposed ricochet occurs. At that moment, the production crew and the Panicats go into panic, worried about Aline. The prank was spectacularly well done. The effect used to simulate blood was extremely realistic, which made the situation even more convincing. In the end, they reveal that it was all just a joke, and everyone becomes relieved. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.